you now can access the state of acceptance where you say, okay. And you get to be super aware of what's happening. And when you are Well, hello there. How's your heart today? How's that wonderful, beautiful, dynamic heart of yours? I hope it's well. I hope it's amazing. And if it's not, that's okay too. A lot of us are struggling nowadays. So, yeah, it's hard to neutralize. As a matter of fact, that's what I wanted to talk to you about today, was how we can use radical honesty to neutralize whatever energy is going on within us. Because remember, whatever we're feeling is what is going to be reflected around us. So it is going to be our experience, right? So if you are excited and you're ready to hear all about how radical honesty can neutralize your energy, go ahead and please click that thumbs button. It allows this video to get out to other people so that they can see it and hopefully neutralize their energy as well. So here we go. Radical honesty. What is radical honesty anyways? Radical honesty is authentic truth without distortion. So distortion happens because we all have stories that we've experienced and that we are consistently experiencing based on our own personal operating system, right? So these are the things that we've learned from our family members, from our caregivers, and it's the lens and the perspective by which we live out our life, right? So those are the stories. And oftentimes when we're feeling threatened in some manner, and it doesn't even really matter what the threat is, but just that there is a threat, the ego will start to trigger these stories as a way to protect us from participating in life. So what radical honesty is that ability to get to that space where you understand the shadow part of yourself, or at least in that particular moment for that particular action, right? So it's very covert, the shadow side of us, which is why it's called shadow. It's deep, dark within us, right? Dexter, in the show Dexter, he would say his dark passenger, right? So I also call my shadow the dark passenger. And it can be so covert, which means it does things so sneakily in terms of our responses and behaviors to various things. And it affects our energy, especially subconsciously when we're just not aware of what's happening. So radical honesty, what it does is it allows us to get to that place deep within us where we see the why of the behavior that we're doing. Now remember, we choose our behaviors based on what we're feeling, and what we're feeling is our energetic frequency. So based on how we're feeling, we're going to make certain choices and decisions and act on them, right? Behave them out. And those are going to have consequences. It's just what happens. We do something and something else happens. It's a response. Everything in life is a response. So when we are able to get into radical honesty, you might have heard the term rock bottom, right? A lot of times when addicts are really ready to make changes in their life, they hit rock bottom, right? So really what's happening is that they're getting radically honest with themselves. You don't have to be an addict to get radically honest with yourself. But what radical honesty does is it gets you into the energetic vibration and frequency of acceptance. So when you're radically honest about something, and you know that this is the hardcore truth of it, like this is it, this is why I do X, Y, and Z, you now can access the state of acceptance where you say, okay. And you get to be super aware of what's happening. And when you are aware, because you're radically honest with yourself, you can also access the frequency of grace. And when we access that frequency of grace, it's letting go. And once we've let go from something, it's almost as if we have this clean slate. We have a new platform, a new jumping off space, yes? So being radically honest with yourself has all of these beautiful, wonderful frequencies that can take you out of that awful, deep, dark place. But a lot of people don't want to go to radical honesty. They can't handle it. And that's okay, because if you're not ready, do not do it. It does take a strong and courageous and a very brave choice and decision to say, I'm going to be really radically honest with myself. This is the behavior I do, and this is why. And when we do that, we get to start over. We get to start over. We get a redo button, a new platform to jump off of. So it's in those moments that we become extremely present in the now moment. And therefore, we can actually, truly, authentically begin to create a future based on the present, instead of a future based on our past, which we've brought into our present. So when we're not radically honest, our present is actually a past present. And so therefore, if we're creating a future in the now moment of past present, we're creating a future based on the past. Time travel. People think time travel doesn't happen, but it happens all the time. We're just not using a space machine. We're just using our own energy, our feelings. Is it easy to get radically honest? No, because it means we have to take a look at that dark part of ourselves that we've been trying to hide, because it is so emotionally painful to admit that we have this thing, whatever this thing is, right? So if you're finding that you're trying so hard in your life to get somewhere, to accomplish a goal, to get out of a relationship, or you want a relationship, or you want to make more money, or whatever it is that you want, and it's not happening, it's time to look at yourself with radical honesty, because then you can create a new slate. It's gonna hurt like hell, and it's gonna be extremely emotional, but that's why you get support, whether it's from a coach, whether it's from a therapist, whether it's from a friend, whatever, whoever, wherever. But until you can get radically honest with yourself, it's very hard to shift your energy into the frequencies of acceptance and grace to clean that slate. You gotta hit rock bottom. You have to admit and know that there's a problem before you can do something about it. Otherwise, don't worry about it. And if you're not ready, you're not ready. Look, I'm gonna be blunt. I don't sugarcoat. I don't BS. Don't try this if you're not courageous or brave enough in the now moment, and that's okay. There will come a time where you will be brave, you will be courageous, because you'll want to get past that shadow part of yourself enough. And if you don't want to get somewhere enough, like with that real, true, deep, like, oh, I gotta get over this, it's not gonna work. It's like quitting smoking. If you're not actually ready to quit smoking, you're not going to. You're gonna try everything and anything, especially if you don't want to deal with that emotional pain, which is what most people have a tendency to do, which is bypass bypass. Signs of bypassing: not really dealing with emotions, right? Using tangible objects or things to temporarily replace emotions, right? Things like crystals or veganism, or yoga, as ways to avoid what's really going on. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to do this instead. Using essential oils instead of learning how to manage and deal with your anxiety. So it's really one of these things where if you can get radically honest with yourself, you can actually change your life. But until you do, you can't. And that's awful to hear, but it's the truth. And that's what I am. I'm a truth seeker and a truth teller. Your energy will be reflected in all of your experiences around you because you take action and you make choices and you behave based on how you feel. And if you want to have a better understanding of how energy actually works, I do have an energy series. There are 3 parts to it, which you can go back and watch. So here's my prayer for you. And for me, because there are times where it's just too hard for me even to get into my radical honesty. But there are times, more times than not, I will. But there are times I just can't, right? So my prayer for all of us, for all of humanity, is for us to safely and calmly access our radical honesty so that we can start with a new slate and create a future reality based on the present and not the past. That is where our power lies. That is where we become empowered instead of playing victim or being a victim. Then we make choices where we don't have to deal with the chaos of the world. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that wonderful? I love it. I absolutely love it. So that's my prayer for us, that we can calmly and safely access it and continue to dive into it and learn more about ourselves and how we can respond and how we can just change things. And as we change, the experiences around us will change, the people around us will change, the health of our physical body will change, our finances will change, our relationships will change. So if you're feeling stuck, or you're feeling meh, or you're feeling like nothing you do is right, I'm here for you. I can help you if you'd like. I actually have a coaching program called the Shift Happens program. If you go to my site, terriehuberman.com, and click on the Shift Happens button, you'll learn all about how I help you change your reality by shifting your energy. And you can learn to access your intuition so that you can make different choices. You can have different feelings and behave differently, which once again will reflect in your reality. So if that sounds like a really cool thing that you'd like to participate and you want the support, because you know you can't do it alone, look, I get support. I can't do it alone. Go ahead and you can schedule a complimentary, also known as free, one of the best F words out there, consultation where we can see if we're a good match and if I can help you. I don't work with everybody. I'm very selective who I work with. So if this sounds like something you want to be part of and you are just ready to get unstuck, move forward, check out the Shift Happens section of my site at terriehuberman.com. Schedule that complimentary consultation. Don't forget, if you like this video, please click that thumbs up button so other people can see this and get to their radical honesty place so that they can neutralize and feel better and make different choices. And stay connected, right? Stay connected to yourself, stay connected to your friends and family, and of course you can stay connected to me, and I'll see ya on the flip side.